I'm not writing any method as of now. We'll see how to write that. Further, there is a means you can execute your code at runtime. You can provide some configuration at the runtime. Means you do not need, means as a being a admin or if you have access to that console, you can execute your functions or methods straight away without any other help. Okay, we'll see that. So for this tutorial I'll take a different approach. First I will explain how to write that MBean and we'll have a demo. Post demo, after demo I'll explain the other concept and we'll compare how it is different and how it is useful for sometimes it can be really useful for a client projects. So for MBeans also we'll use a standard way how to write that. We will have an interface and one implementation class. So let's say I create an interface called Geeks MBean. Okay, Geeks MBean. I'm not writing any method as of now. We'll see how to write that. Further, there is an implementation class of that interface. So you have to write an component annotation which is mandatory for any of the backend module other than the Sling model. As this is the same way, old story. Immediate true, obviously. Service is equal to dynamic MBean. So this is needed. You define service as you define for the servlet, you define a service, and this way you define this service. Okay, this is provided by your management, means JMX itself, provided by Java. All right, important thing is this property. You define what is your object name, right? JMX dot object name. Same thing you define even if you write this MBean in a plain Java. So here where you define a different way because we are following the OSGI kind of annotation, so we define in this way, property JMX object name. Your package where you have this, then colon package type where you have type is equal to the name. This name would be available in your console, JMX console, when you start searching it. Then you extend this class annotation standard bean because this class provides some methods to you. So that way you have to use it, and this class implement this interface as well, implementing your own interface. Now obviously this line number 21 is just to add logger, simple way, nothing specific. Here you write a constructor for implementation class. This is mandatory. This way, using this constructor, you can call a super method, super constructors. Okay, so inside this you call super by passing your interface, means your MBean, right? Throw not compile this MBean exception. When this exception comes, when if your MBean does not follow the pattern, design pattern provided by JMX. Okay, means the standard pattern. If you don't follow, then you can have this exceptions. That's why I'm just throwing it. I'm not writing this in try catch, so I'm just throwing it obviously. After this code, your MBean is ready. When you deploy, you will be see a MBean, but right now I did not define anything custom what I want from this MBean. Right now you have to define methods. So what methods you want to execute? All right, so let me define a method here. First you define the method. This is the standard approach. You define a method here in this interface and then implementation class. So here I wrote a simple method. Purpose of this tutorial is to explain how to write MBean, not what to write inside MBean. So we have a very simple method called get author name. So what we'll do, we'll provide a name to the author and that will be returned back. It's a string type. So basically intention here is how you see you can execute a method by console. Inside this implementation class, I just pass a method and return the same name. Okay, pass a name and return a same name, along with I have a log statement so that you can see this has been executed. Alright, that's the simple one. Here you can have any number of methods, you can perform any number of tasks as per your need. But here we'll see just a simple use case. Now let me deploy this. As soon as you deploy, in your console you will see a MBean with name Geeks MBean. I'll show you. Let this deployment finish. So if you see, once deployment is done, there is a console available, system console slash JMX. If you hit that, you will see the console which contain all the MBeans you have in your AEM. So you will see the latest one which we defined, called type is equal to Geeks MBean, and the same thing we define inside. If you hear the type, okay, this type. All right, so now if you open this, just click on this and you will see the methods which you define. Obviously these should be the method which has accessible to it. It should not be private. Now you will see here, now if you have access to this console, you can run these methods. Click on this. Whatever the input of your method is, it will give you a box or text box to add input. Let me add something, AEM and Geeks. Alright, before I execute, using this invoke, this method will invoke, and because it returned the same thing, you will see the response here along with a statement inside a log. So let me open that log first before execute this. Alright, now let me invoke. As soon as I invoke, you see the response. Because it's a string type, so it return me the string. If I change this, let's say this one, so it executed again. So now in logs, I should see two statements because this is executed twice. So if I open this log, obviously you will see this. It's called and again it's called. So that means the method executed and it returns something. Now the question is, when it should be used? As I said, whole health check framework is written using this. Go to the dashboard, health check dashboard, and you will see lot of the functionality which is written in MBeans. Even if you go back and if you see, you will see this health check things, lot of health check. Let's see, health check. You will see start from here, health check. Lot of things are written using health check and other as well. I'll show you one more example. If you have anytime upgraded your AEM instance from older versions to 6.5, so there is a MBean which actually check your instance is ready to upgrade or not. There's some specific task you perform. Let me find it. It's there. You see this pre-upgrade task. So when you execute these methods, so it will check whether you made ready your instance to upgrade or not. So this kind of stuff functionalities are executed there. Yeah, written using these. Okay, so there are others as well. Now how it is different from others? So first of all, you are executing your code at runtime, or you are providing some information at runtime. Not only executing code, you can provide some configuration, you can provide some other things to AEM at the runtime on your own choice. You do not depend on other, let's say you do not depending on servlet call or page load or something. It's up to you when you want to execute that code. Second thing, you must have a question how it is different from OSGI configuration, because OSGI configuration also you provide the inputs, but that is different. You just provide input, but you don't have control when to execute that code. And the basic fundamental difference, whenever you update something in your OSGI configuration, your configuration always re-registered. But when you call MBean, nothing re-registered. Okay, whenever you hit save button in OSGI configuration, you will see in logs your service or your configuration registered again, unregistered and registered. But that's not the case with the MBean. One more thing, you can call this MBeans in your other modules as well. I'll explain sometime later that, but you can definitely call this. You can call the MBeans in some third party. JConsole is the most famous or most commonly used application, third party application, where you can call MBeans. So that way you can even the information, you can share the information using MBeans as well, how you share using servlets. So sometimes consider that as well whenever you design some solution. So I hope you understood. If you have any question, please add your comment. You have access to that concept, it interface and okay, Geeks and MBeans. I'm not writing any method as of now. We'll see how to write that. Further, there is an implementation class of that interface. So you have to write an @ component annotation, which is mandatory for any